But young, this is a young, even if the public wants to come, they have the right to be here. This is a town hall.
It's a public. This is why we are not stopping anyone from entering the council.
We had a right to stop anyone. We could have stopped them from coming here. But we don't have the powers. You don't have the power to stop anyone from coming here. This is a public office. Do what you have to do. We will not obstruct you. Exactly. This is you have a duty to do. We have a duty to represent the people that have brought us here.
The Ministry of Local Government and Lands, in a letter on Monday, authorized the Kanifing Municipal Council CEO, Sainabou Matin Sonko, to resume work, warning that any attempts to obstruct Mrs. Sonko and other persons authorized in any form or manner from gaining access to their offices will face full force of the law. Sainabou Matin Sonko and her colleagues went to work on Monday as authorized by the Ministry of Local Government and Lands. The CEO and her colleagues were allowed entry into the premises of the council but could not access any office. On a Thursday morning, the CEO returned to the council accompanied by an official said to be from the Ministry of Local Government and Lands and security officers. After meeting with the Deputy CEO of the Kanifing Municipal Council and the Lord Mayor Talib Ahmed Bensouda to get them to hand over the CEO's office keys was unsuccessful. An office was later forcefully opened by a carpenter brought in by the local government authorities. The youth councillor witnessed the forceful opening of the office.
We came here early morning and then they came with her. I think I counted around 10 to 11 security forces, plainclothes officers who came with her to escort her into the council. But from the beginning, we have always said that KMC is a public office, KMC is a public institution. We cannot stop people from coming into this office. But what we cannot also accept is that our subordinates, our staff, to determine and to impose on us which office they would use. When the court order came that Sainabou Matin should be allowed into the council, yes, we have allowed her on numerous occasions. This is her fifth or sixth time coming into the council, and on no occasion was she stopped. I think the only time that she was stopped was the first time when she came with paramilitary officers, and our security forces also didn't allow them to come in. Apart from that, she would come to the council, she would meet the mayor, she would meet the deputy CEO, she would meet the deputy mayor and meet councillors, and then we'll tell her that she needs to go home and wait until the report of the investigation is out, and then General Council will determine what happens next, considering the fact that she was put on temporal leave or temporal suspension by the General Council and not the decision of any individual.
The KMC Youth Councillor said when they were moving into their new office premises, there was no office allocated for the CEO, which he says was the reason she was allocated a different place.
When they said we should open the door, we told them no, we cannot. Because one, that is not an allocated office. We were using it for storage. We were keeping things there because when we were coming from our old office into the new building, she was not here with us. So no office was dedicated for Sainabou Matin Sonko. So if you come to the council and we tell you, use the conference room for now, until we determine what happens, I think that was a very reasonable take. We didn't stop her from coming. In fact, we had even allocated a space for her. But who is she to determine and to tell the council that, no, I don't want the space you have allocated for me. I have to get into this office. I think to see that people are supporting that move, people that came here and said that they are here for good governance and transparency are going again and are being contradictory and being ironic in their actions speaks volumes. I think Gambians need to understand that nothing has really changed in this country. Today maybe the only thing is that we are not being arrested, and this is our constitutional right to speak our minds, but the institutional memories are still here. The impunity in the institutions and the structures we have in governance are still very paramount. And this is what we have seen. They finally broke the door to get her in. But there was no furniture, because this is all we had always told them, that this is not an office. We are not even using it. So if she wants to go and lay a mat there and sleep, that's her business. But we will also now sit as a council and determine what we are going to do next, because people cannot elect us and bring us into this council and you sit anywhere to determine what happens. If this is it, it should be tick for tat, and we are not afraid of that. And we are ready to face any consequences that comes with it.
He also explains their interaction with the official who accompanied the CEO to the council.
We had responded. The place of the key is not for us councillors to determine. It's an administrative issue. We do not allocate offices. The administration with the establishment committee determines where every staff should be. So they had asked the deputy CEO, and he told them that at that moment he couldn't produce the key because he was not prepared for it. So they had told us to change the lock. We called our maintenance guy. He said he couldn't do it today, but let them give him some time and he will produce a new lock. They couldn't wait for that. They were impatient because they had orders to follow from higher echelons, and they did what they had to do. But this also shows that people would forcefully do what they want to do in this country because they have power. And it just determines that people need to wake up and realize that if we don't stand and fight for our rights, we will be sliding back to where we used to be. And for us, since they came, you can ask any of them, we didn't obstruct their work, we didn't tell them anything. In fact, at some point, they wanted to obstruct us by telling us to leave. And I was very open to them that we are not moving an inch. This is a public office, this is an office that was built by taxpayers' money. And if we do not have the right to kick anybody out of this office, who are they to kick us out of our own office? And that has been our stance, and we were there until they broke the door. And then when they broke the door, now they can't do anything because there's no furniture, there's nothing, and now the door is broken. And this is trespass, one, because this is an autonomous body. Two, they have destroyed council's property, which is taxpayers' money.
Sainabou Matin Sonko released a WhatsApp audio a few days before the local government ministry's instruction for her to resume work castigating the mayor and the council. Youth Councillor Kimo Bojang said the CEO's accusations against the mayor and other councillors in the audio make it difficult for the CEO to work with them.
A few days ago, she came out with a very despicable audio insulting everyone, insulting her superiors, the mayor, the councillors, in fact going up to the extent of calling some councillors by their personal names and accusing them of things that they have not done, accusing the mayor of corruption and other things, which we thought was very disrespectful and was very unprofessional, and it made our relationship very sour, and it made it very difficult for us to work with her going forward. From there on, yesterday we had a general council meeting where we began the deliberations, but had agreed that we will complete it on Friday, which will be tomorrow. Unfortunately, this morning they came here with an order, an executive order, unfortunately, considering that 6 years ago this was what we fought against, to see that we are changing the dynamics and growing our little democracy or infant democracy into a very practical one. As I continue to say, that democracy has to be in praxis, it has to be in the way we do things, and it has to show in our everyday livings. But unfortunately, we're seeing that Gambia is sliding back into dictatorship and authoritarianism, that one person can sit anywhere with his group of people and determine what happens, even at autonomous bodies like the Cardiff Municipal Council. Like I said earlier, when we had the meeting with the director of governance who had led the team that came here, that if this is the case, we can all pack our bags and go home, because then there's no need for the Cardiff municipality. Then there's no need that we're here to determine or represent our people.
Mrs. Sainabou Matin Sonko was alleged to acquire a bank loan in the name of the Staff Association of KMC without their consent and used the funds to acquire property which has been grossly overvalued, and also accused to have forged the council's documents to make the councils the guarantor needed to secure the said loan. The Cardiff Municipal Council CEO and colleagues were later suspended pending investigation. Reporting for Kerr, Fatou, I am Buba Gajigo.